Bem-vindos de volta ao Future of Marketing, Sales and Digital Commerce Stage. Antes de dar início, relembramos que na app do evento podem avaliar as sessões. Businesses are undergoing a once-in-a-lifetime transformation driven by AI, from enhancing customer insights and personalizing experiences to automating content creation and building full marketing campaigns. AI is reshaping the entire marketing and sales landscape. This keynote session will explore how to harness the power of generative AI to reimagine and accelerate business growth. Discover how to build an AI-powered toolkit with AI agents for autonomous actions, generative AI for creative content, and data analytics for actionable insights. Please welcome our keynote speaker, Pablo Carlier, Director Data Analytics and AI Sales, EMEA South at Google Cloud.
Hola, boa tarde. When I look at this and I listen to this intro, I was remembering Star Wars and that crawl with the evil empire is approaching and blah, blah, blah. It looks like a very dangerous future, right? Wow, it's going to reimagine all the... I don't even know what was. But when I stop and think about it, the way we're looking at it at Google is with this kind of feeling. What can you actually do with a tool that is potentially able to achieve almost anything, right? How can you put this technology, which promises to be even more transformational than electricity or fire, to work so it makes everything better for everyone? And that's the way we're looking at AI from within Google. Now, we've had the privilege of being working in this space for many years. Personally, I look after the data analytics and AI business for EMEA South, and we're working with a lot of customers, trying to see how we can apply all that innovation to their current businesses. In these past 20 years, we've had the privilege to be very front and center of every part of the innovation that's been taking place on AI. Seeing tackling some of the world's most complex and hardest to solve games like chess or Go, to moving into more complex and productive problems like understanding how proteins are going to behave, or designing new waves of materials that will degrade in 24 hours instead of 24 centuries. All these problems are complex problems that have data at scale, that have very diverse kinds of data, and that need a solution for everyone. So we need to scale them up, and we've had the privilege to deploying these to the scale of billions of users every day. So we have learned quite a lot for that. It was necessary for us, and we needed to build a platform and a lot of research and technology to support that vision of making AI helpful for everyone. Gemini is a family of technologies that is infused in everything that Google does today in order to make that vision possible. Now, I don't see you guys. I only see two huge lights pointing at me. But I'm going to imagine that I see your hands going up when I ask, how many of you have used AI in the past 24 hours, right? Everyone. Okay, I'm assuming it's everyone. How many of you have actually created an image in the past 24 hours? I see some hands. So if I do this, I see some hands. Now, you see that it's changed dramatically, right? And that's something that we're also seeing. The capabilities of AI are changing dramatically every single day. And that's curious because we've seen tremendous adoption with some of the funniest things that we've released in the past. I like to use image generation models as a reference to understand how fast AI capabilities are changing, because it's very visual and because it's very fun, right? So you may have seen that some years ago we were playing around with making AI images. Now we are able to do something like this, which is take a real life image of someone delivering a presentation and then having it build a toy. And what's changed? It's not the ability to do it. It's the consistency of how it does it. So look, for example, at the wrinkles in my trousers, how they're pretty much consistent from the generated image to the real-life reference. It's this kind of predictability, of certainty that we need when we're going to apply AI to business processes, right? So this is very funny. It can also turn you into something different from back to the 80s and so on. But it's also very useful, because now it starts to be in a position in which we can start to apply it to business problems, understanding that it's really going to be predictive. So Now, when we look at video generation and all these things, they also understand how real world works like. And these are showing not only dramatic ways of representing the world around us, but also understanding of the physics, of the relationships of things. Video generation shows as well a good understanding of the real world around it, and it helps AI understand business processes in a much broader way. We've seen tremendous adoption in some places, but we've also seen, to be honest, some frustration. We think we're just on the verge of AI being truly disruptive for many things. And sometimes it's very hard to understand how a technology is going to impact the world until a breakthrough comes. In the same way that electricity was initially used for some things, and then only when appliances came, electricity really helped everyone. Or computing was reserved to some of those people that were using those punched cards. Who here was using punched cards to program computers? Yeah, we share the same gray hair, right? And then when the graphical user interface came, computing really helped everyone. We are now in a position in which AI is really helping everyone who has good understanding of a business problem and access to any platform, any mobile phone or computer or whatever, to become a proficient software developer. If software is it in the world, AI is it in software, and now everybody, even kids, can turn an idea into today software, and tomorrow we will see. Definitely, the one-person startup is a reality today. And that means that every business is going to be disruptive. And that disruption is not optional. It is going to happen. Now, there are places in which that's going to be faster. There are places where that's going to be, it's going to take a bit more time, but there are some things that are going to be common to all of them. First, we're seeing a tremendous shift in the ability to extract knowledge from that information. Those that are able to capture that knowledge and infuse it into their business processes are going to be way more successful. Second, multimodality is going to be changing everything. It's no longer enough to be working with structured info that's coming from your predictable systems. Those that are able to capture almost anything that's happening. Now I see you better, though. Did you lower the lights or something like that? Because now I see knowledge and I see multimodality. Now it's not only me talking, now I perceive you better. But those that are able to capture that are going to be way more successful. And third, most importantly, don't think about what's possible today. Expect this to get out of screens and into the physical world very, very soon. We are teaching these models how to perceive like we do, how to understand the world around us. If they can create a video that's realistic and that represents reality, they can also understand what they're seeing in real time. And when I do this and I put down glasses that tell me who each of you are and what you're doing and where's the nearest exit and so on, and I start to manipulate all that, and I start to interact with the world in a different fashion, how do I place an ad in front of this person? How do I capture that impulsive moment to convert that impulse into a purchase? By the way, these are just normal glasses, right? These are not artificial intelligence glasses yet, but plan for that future. Now, those that are able to navigate this future will also be able to navigate what businesses are asking from us, which is do more with less. Everyone is represented here, right? All these things are worrying us. There are going to be more bubbles, not fewer bubbles. In our future, AI is also going to be changing so fast. And it's going to become better, faster, and cheaper. And what happens when that happens? Every single process is bound to be automated, accelerated, augmented, and there's going to be lots of cost savings in all of them. Now, those companies that are able to navigate that faster than others will capture markets very, very quickly. And we know this is going to happen because this has already happened. So I measured the speed at which I talk. And I speak at roughly 6 tokens per second. We have tested Gemini at over 1,000 tokens per second, which means that if I give a model or an agent a task, and I ask it to test it 100 times, 500 times, it can be cheap and it can be fast at verifying what it's doing, so it becomes reliable. And that's what we need when we start to apply it to business processes, right? There's no technology in the world that has become cheaper than AI ever. And I was doing this research. Nothing has dropped in price so dramatically. So it's bound to be like air. It will be impossible to measure, impossible to charge for, and it will be everywhere. Plan for that kind of future. Now, what happens when we apply this to marketing? Marketing is in the perfect storm of the combination of tremendous volumes of very disparate data, the need for automating creativity, and the very urgent need of providing hyper-personalization. So it's a perfect problem for AI to support. And we've been doing that for many years now. It's only now that it's accelerating as these capabilities are refining themselves, right? So you can see that I can not only create a funny picture of Pablo delivering a presentation as if it was a toy or in the 80s. I can also take my product and place it wherever I need. I can create a video of my product, placing it in the context that my user is expecting. I can tailor my message to the moment, the context, and the individual. And I can reach my long tail in a way that's now cost-effective, delivering almost the same top-level quality I was only able to give to my best customers not long ago. And we know that all this is disrupting marketing all across the value chain. There's many things that are going on in the sense of how do I combine all these different fragmented ad systems? How do I navigate all those complexities in customer journeys? You are not alone. This is something that everyone is going through right now. There's differences in the way we are supporting customers to navigate this storm. And all of these disruptions that you're seeing across this value chain, across this journey of advertising and marketing with AI, are going to be disrupted by the advent of agents automating your processes. Every piece of data being incorporated into the mix and connecting with your users via new customer engagement mechanisms in a completely different manner. Way more human, way more assistive, way more natural, and be ready to delegate some of the things that are going to happen to systems. For example, when you order some food to be brought to your home, and when you're having a party at home and you need to order another bottle of wine because you ran out of wine, there may be a real-life tender in real time between agents bidding to supply you with the best price of the wine you need to your house at the lowest cost. Be ready for that future. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen at some point. Where are we today? There are three things that are happening today right now that incorporate all these capabilities. The first one is customers are using different ways to discover. I find myself more and more taking out my phone and using the circle to search capability when I look at something that I need or something that I like, something that my wife does it way more than I do, and she's much better than me at doing it, but my kids do it as well. And those consumer expectations are going to be coming onto us right now. And there's no option. There's not going to be debatable. This is going to happen. And then that personalization of me wanting to see whether a tuxedo is going to suit me or not is not going to be me going to the store and trying it on. It's going to be me providing a picture and then wanting to see myself in 700 different scenarios and see whether I really want to bet on that or not. And actually, when I'm bound to make the choice and commit to the purchase, I want a personalized, assistive, natural, and delightful and fun experience when I'm doing it. This is happening today. We are trying to accelerate all that journey. There are things like how do I brief an entire marketing campaign that are being reduced from weeks to hours, and processes that looked very simple or very predictable in the past are becoming things like that, where there's feedback, there's reinforcement of one message isn't part of the other, there's some of these components that are being more complex, and there's more things included into the mix, so I can generate an ad that whenever Tony Soprano reaches out to get his gun, it turns into a Coca-Cola if it's one person when it's the commercial break, and it turns into a kind of very healthy sports drink if it's another kind of customer that's actually going to be watching that ad in real time. This future is going to come. We are seeing this transition of these crazy diagrams be very complex in some places, right? We're trying to assist customers in navigating this journey. So first, each of these parts of the journey have new foundational emerging capabilities that are going to help you with that. Some part of that adoption is going to be embedded in the tools that we provide you along the journey. Some of that will be provided today by point companies. There's a huge ecosystem of point solutions that you will be wanting to include into your mix because it will provide short-term actionable value. In the long term, I think more and more these things are going to become more like these other things. Collections of business processes that you then architect into multi-agent systems. Some of them designed by you, some of them created by other agents in real time for one specific purpose, and then evaporated, and some others purchased or used as a service from other suppliers, partners, and so on. And the combination of all of them will automate and bring more efficiencies, bring more value, and open new business areas. There are 4 pillars right now in which we are seeing short-term adoption for this. It's bringing more intelligence into your data to gain a competitive advantage. And some of these solutions we are bringing first party, like TrendSpotter or Meridian, to accelerate you in this journey. Oh, this is the passive-aggressive sign that I need to shut up. Others are about helping you accelerate in creating that media itself, those experiences, those images you were seeing, making it more professional, more predictable, and also more efficient in the way you do it. Visionary, for example, is one of the solutions that we created in Google that allows you to bring 3 or 4, 5 different images and create hundreds of different videos that combine all of them with different experiences depending on what you're planning to use that video on. Is it a short for TikTok, or is it a short for YouTube? Or is it something that you're going to be sending over WhatsApp to your friends? Or is it going to be featured in a huge screen before the Super Bowl? Then how do I ensure that I have the most impact with the assets and the media that I create? How do I ensure orchestration of these campaigns? How do I boost that engagement? And then finally, how do I elevate interactions that I have with my customers? How do I bring that contact center experience to the next level? How do I make it more human? How do I make it more natural? How do I delight every customer in every digital connection that I have with them? The third wave of AI is going to be agentic. Your competitive differentiation is going to be in how you navigate this crawl, walk, and run journey. Now, there's 3 lessons that I have for you today. One of them is you will need a new platform in order to do this that connects your data to your business and to your users. The second is that you will find new challenges. We will discover new risks, and we will navigate them together. And the third one is that in the end, as Pablo Picasso said, computers are useless because they can only give us answers. It's up to us to find the right questions. Thank you very much.